At the time now in Trinidad and Tobago, it is 15 and a half minutes after 2 p.m. A very good afternoon to all our listeners in Trinidad and Tobago, and those of you joining us on the World Wide Web. Okay, boss, text message already. All right, so I have to address that. Just give me 1 second here. Here we go. Silence on you, boy. Good. Okay. So as I was saying, today is Tuesday, January 2024.
Please.
And every Thursday for the last year, we've been speaking with one and only specialist in this country where naturalized herbs are concerned. A man was given 14 years and growing of his life towards healing people, if not removing illness, but easing your pain so you'll have a gain. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners around the world, I'd like to introduce again, live in studio from his neck of the woods, the one and only Dr. Batson. Doctor, good afternoon and welcome.
To you, DJ Mamu. Good afternoon to, of course, the listeners of DJ Mamu Radio, TT.com. Good afternoon to those of you on our Facebook. We are live on Facebook at Batson and Associates Limited. Those of you with us on Instagram at Batson and Associates TT. Pleasant good afternoon to you. Happy New Year to everyone. And, you know, as I always tell persons, you know, the beginning of the year is always a time where you get all these great salutations. All the best and that type of thing. And what that really translates into is really being healthy so that you're able to achieve your goals, your objectives, if you want to call them resolutions, as people say, and you need good health to do that. Let me, of course, apologize for my absence. I know you all missed me for a little bit, but that was a number of things there. I had very competent consultants when we were actually able to do it, to actually fill in for me. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good afternoon and thank you to one of our consultants at Batson and Associates, Mr. Stefan Vialva, Mr. Paul Green, and others who I know, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, as well as Mr. Bastamante, where we would have used did programs, so competently. Thank you so very much. I know it just goes to show you, the caliber of persons that we have that, really handle your health at Batson Associates. It's a system that we have in place. People will continually want to see me personally, but you all know in practicality, in order for me to help as much people as possible, we have to make it practical, make it sensible, So there are systems in place, there are protocols where, we actually able to handle you properly and most importantly, help you get the results that you want. We have a testimony actually from yesterday, and that's something that we're going to post up in a little bit. We have a lot of those that we're actually going to be putting up on our social media, a lot of work happening as regards our marketing and whatnot. So, as usual, it's my pleasure to be here, really assisting persons to be healthier for 2024. Thank God you have made it. A lot of persons did make it. We still have COVID and COVID-like symptoms running around. There's a really, really, really terrible cold, like really terrible. And they're actually saying it's COVID that has returned. So we need to be very careful. Our immune system, keep in mind, Batson and Associates, our silver formula that we have in high stock, so that is something that you could actually get to help your family members, especially even little children, because, you don't want these little children getting sick too frequently and then having to give them too much of medication, because if there are problems with their lungs, they're going to have to get steroids, they're going to have to get antibiotics. And, if it's an emergency situation and you have no other choice in the matter, well, no problem. But, as the old people say, an ounce of prevention is better, excuse me, than a pound of cure. So it's a matter of really using that silver with mineral formula to naturally boost the immune system. You cannot go wrong with that. We have a lot of clients who could testify to that. Especially persons with respiratory problems, asthma, sinusitis, bronchitis, tuberculosis, those type of things. So, feel free to give us a call or visit. Our telephone numbers, of course, for Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Mooch Trace and the SS Erin Main Road. In Debe, a pleasant afternoon to Miss Roma and Miss Budu Donna Budu handling things in the Debe office there and others. That telephone number for Daybay is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James, of course, is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number there is 220-8113. Again, that's 220-8113. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon again to our social media. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited. On Facebook, on Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad, and on TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. So like us, share us, follow us, tell a friend. As I said, give the gift of good health. A lot of people tell you, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Yeah, and it is greatly appreciated, but, make it a little more tangible and practical. Give them a gift of good health. We actually do gift cards at Batson and Associates, so you can actually give somebody a gift card where they could actually utilize that consultation, that live blood, that dry blood, that consultation, and actually get to better health. Let me say some good afternoons to our social media. Miss Elizabeth Mary, thank you so very much. Happy New Year to you as well. Miss Sharon Theodore, she says, bless 2004. Dr. Batson, welcome. Miss Elizabeth Mary says, good health and greetings to all listening. Dr. Batson and Associates, happy 2024. Kendall Duncan, how does one use silver? Well, let me answer. Kendall, I'll come back to that just now. Miss Wendy, this is simple. I think she wanted to put there, Happy New Year, Dr. Batson Associates. Pam Powell, pleasant good afternoon. Well, it's good afternoon here by us. She's actually watching from England, so she'll be, 4 hours ahead of us? Right, so it's
4 hours.
All right, so it's actually 6:22 there. Okay, so a pleasant good evening in this case to you, Miss Powell. As regards to Mr. Duncan's question, how does one use silver? The one that is silver with mineral formula is basically silver with something known as parts per million of silver. So you basically use it in liquid. It is a liquid rather, and you actually add it to about 6 to 8 ounces of water, and you drink it on an empty stomach. An empty stomach ideally is either 30 minutes to 45 minutes before a meal, 2.5, 3 hours after a meal. And it's going to help. It's very good for children. It's colorless, it's odorless. There's a slight taste in it. But I mean, children don't make phosphate, and if you use like the inflammation formula, one of those other products we have at Batson Associates, it could make it more pleasant for them. We have a question, DJ Mamu.
Yes, sir. Chan says, excuse me, I visited the St. James branch, and she's from Blasphemous number 2. She visited the St. James branch of Batson and Associates. She purchased the Santulan and water, and she was inquiring about the eye formula.
Oh, right.
And the lady at the desk, a very pleasant person, she said they're out of stock.
Yes.
She was really disappointed.
Yes. Yeah. Well. How are we gonna? Well, I mean, I'll be honest and truthful. I tell persons, the situation hopefully is going to get better in the sense that, all over the country, we had a serious situation. I mean, it was all over the papers. A lot of people were speaking about it with, customs are a little delayed as regards to what they're doing. So we pass in that as well, but we're working assiduously on it,
Can we use the word lethargic?
Yeah, I have a lot of words I want to use. I can't use it. So, I mean, God is good, and it's a matter of,
Jason, just say 2 words quickly.
Tell me.
These people in high office and ranking and showing up all their stripes, right? The zebra carries a lot of stripes, and the zebra remains as humble as possible.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Talking about 2 or 3 stripes on your shoulder make you feel big. No, listen, the reason why you are in office is because of people doing business.
True.
And if people don't do any business, there's no need for you.
There's no need for you. Yeah, definitely.
You understand?
Of course.
People must understand this.
Yeah. And not only that, you have your jobs to do. Do your job. This is a thing we all law-abiding, tax-paying citizens do what it is you need to do and pass people stuff. Let them go and do what they have to do. It's a matter of being effective and efficient. So after God, we're working on that, and we're going to do what we have to do to ensure that we're able to stock our offices and deal with our clients. Making necessary inquiries and whatever we need to do. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Pam Powell. Yes, too, as I said, she says watching from England. Miss Shirley Dorset, blessed Blessings, Dr. Batson, healthy afternoon. Good evening, healthy afternoon. Miss Shireen Jack says, evening. Blessings, Dr. Batson. Welcome back. Any eye drop? Yes, and that's what we're just speaking about. We almost in the aspect of closing that. That is a serious situation as regards to that, and we're working on it. We're working on it. Just up to this morning, I was dealing with that situation. So we will get it for you, and of course, make sure if you have and you want any of the products that we do not have in stock, just call, let us know. We're going to make sure and record your name with your number. So as soon as we get in stock, we're going to ensure that we do our due diligence and call you so that you could come and replenish your stocks. Yes, DJ Mamu.
Yeah, I didn't finish with the lady, Sharon. She says, the Santulan worked marvelous, DJ. I'm feeling so good. I have energy. And I told her, take your time and call the office again so you'll be able to get your eye
optics.
Eye optics, yeah. Yeah, so she's chatting here with me right now.
Okay, good. Excellent.
To feel better because she was bloated.
Right.
After using the Santola, and goodness gracious, she felt like a new person again.
Yes. That product is amazing. Always in high in demand. So it's a matter. And we, as I said, we're gonna get it and we're gonna ensure as soon as we get it, make sure you're listed so that we can call you. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Karen Davis. She says, blessings, watching from New York. I need something for hypertension. There's actually a product we carry called Circulation Regeneration Tea. Excellent product. We actually had that is a recent addition to our product line, and it did exceptionally well. Everyone who used the product saw results with their high blood pressure, and most importantly, it tastes good and it's healthy for you. It's a tea that has a lot of great things in it that is actually designed to help improve circulation, but most importantly, improve high blood pressure. Great. So inquire about the Circulation Regeneration Tea. That, of course, again, if it is you once you call, you let them know, and they're going to ensure to give you the necessary information as regards to that. Even our international clients, almost finish up that stuff that we doing for you guys. So 2024, God's willing, is going to be a very good year. Keep in mind, again, that special that we have at all our office locations for the executive package with your blood works, your integrative blood works. And the thing is, a lot of people say, what is the difference with this? I go, and that's what I was telling you. I was going to give you guys a testimony from yesterday. Yesterday, I had a client who is actually 75 years of age, and he has issue with his kidneys. So he has some high levels of creatinine bond, and the EGFR, which is what they use to measure the efficiency of your kidney or the stage at which your kidney functions, is on a scale from 1. It has 1, which is best function, 2, good enough function, but not as good as 1. 3 is, good function, but not as good as 2 or as excellent as 1. Then you have 1, 2, and then you have 3A rather. Then you have 3B, you have 4, and you have 5. Now the thing is, when you're in 3A, they usually tell you, prepare yourself, because later on in life, you're going to have to do dialysis. That's what they tell you. Because it is belief, and in most quarters of medicine that, once the body is damaged, the body cannot repair itself. Of course, with integrative medicine and specialized training in clinical nutrition and that type of thing, I know better. Because with this particular gentleman, we worked with him for 3 months, and he had a test before, and he was actually 3A, so he was 52 on the scale. So the lower you go in number, of course, is the lower the function of the kidney, right? So he was 3A. So he just had 3B, 4, and then 5 to be, in a situation. But they were already prepping him and telling him, you need to do certain things. He came to us and we did what we needed to do. We made recommendations. Alkagen water, of course, because that's great for assisting with kidney health, is great for assisting with circulation in the body. We also recommended some inflammation formula. We recommended our advanced chlorophyll, optimizer, those type of things. And he brought back a test, and of course, the creatinine, the bond, and all those have significantly reduced. But what is impressive is that his EGFR has moved from 52, to 61. So it went up by 9. Now, a lot of people must be saying, okay, it went up by 9. That mightn't, but listen to me. In Under normal circumstances, in medical quarters, that is considered impossible. You hear what I just said? That is considered impossible. You are told he is now stage 2. He went up from 3A to 2, you know. And this is a 75-year-old man. Take into consideration his age. Because you think when you're old, nothing to work, right? Yeah. But if we could have done that with somebody who is 75 years, can you imagine what you could do with somebody who is maybe younger? But I mean, even though youth doesn't equal health, and he's an older person, but you know, he's pretty okay with health. But he had some serious challenges. And look at what we were actually able to accomplish. There's one that we dealt with where, and we have numerous instances like that. In fact, someone told me there was someone who came to St. James to check me, and they said that they were asking for a nephrologist, which are kidney specialists. And someone was telling them that they don't have much nephrologists in the country, but go to Dr.Batson. So they assume that I'm a nephrologist. I am not. However, I'm specialized in integrative medicine, and we could fix. And believe me, when you have a bad kidney or you have kidney damage, it is a very difficult thing to reverse. It is very difficult. And it has been done. And it can be done with a number of individuals there. If you are on dialysis, that is unfortunate. Because your life or your sense of it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I think those people are depressed on a daily basis. I mean, and I'm not saying that to, try to be condescending or anything. It really is a serious challenge to be a dialysis patient. Ask anyone. Apart from the expense, I mean, a lot of the time the government covers that, but it is a very expensive undertaking for the government as well. Right? So, especially with the diabetics patients, especially with persons with elevated levels of high blood pressure and those type of things, it means that you're going to be in a lot of problems. So, I would advise that if you have a high blood pressure problem, if you have a diabetes problem, if you have a kidney problem, feel free to call or visit Batson and Associates. In those cases, what we advise you have to, must amount to, do our blood analysis, because in the blood analysis we will determine a number of challenges. Because even though your kidney is sick, the problem is not your kidney alone. There are a number of things. Circulation is affected, your heart wants some work, your blood vessels need work. There are a number of things that you would need to address in that particular situation. Good. So that is something that you could pay very, very close attention to. And of course, feel free to give us a call. That telephone number again for the Shogunas office is 222-8261. Again, that's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Mood Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Again, that's 226-4553. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Miss Dawn Ellis, my dear, a pleasant good evening for you. Oh, Miss Ellis says she actually has our hypertension tea. Well, the thing is, Miss Ellis, that is not that tea, That is the hypertension tea that we have, which is the tea bag. That is very good. That has helped a lot of persons. But as usual, there's always room for improvement. And I always found that there were people that we were getting whose blood pressure was so high and ridiculous that it was not going down. And that is when we did the circulation regeneration tea. And listen to me, that worked, it worked, it worked, it worked. So that is something that you could call the office for. If that is one of the things that we may not have in stock, then as usual, you just give them your name. And as soon as we get it, we're going to ensure that we call you and, have you organize that. So, of course, again, any questions you may have based on the topic that we're going to discuss. I'm going to touch a bit on high blood pressure, I'm going to touch on kidney. And of course, any questions that you may have, let me just pass you over to DJ Mamu, who's going to remind you of the contacts so that you could place your necessary inquiries.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson. And you're listening to Support Your Health Naturally, a weekly program around this time of afternoon on DJManuRadioTT.com. And the number, those of you who would like to call in live, 868-337-2287. If it's WhatsApp, same number. For international listeners, just add 1-868-337-2287. And Chandra Rupnarayan, last nurse number 2, would like to say thank you to the lady who served her at the St. James branch, Batson and Associates. Very pleasant person, she says here.
Miss Eleanor. That is
Yeah.
Miss Eleanor. Pleasant good afternoon to the very competent and efficient Miss Eleanor.
She has this way of speaking to you. You feel half of your problem gone already.
Yeah.
So,
nice person.
Lady there. This message coming from Chandra Rupnarayan of last Muslim 2. She did mention that she purchased the Santulan and it's worked very well for her. First shot at it, and she's feeling much better.
Excellent.
But as I said before, the I what?
The eye optics formula.
The eye optics. I need to get that. The eye
Yes.
optics. Right. So she's patiently awaiting that.
Good.
And other members of family are also waiting in line. They're coming at you one by one. It's a huge family.
Okay. I look forward to that.
There's one, a big brother who's 84.
Okay.
He's coming in from Canada sometime at the end of the month.
Good.
The first week in February, and he'll pay you a visit.
Excellent.
So the news is going around.
I'm looking forward to that, man. Great.
They come send to you. Yeah.
Excellent. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Paula Rupchan. Good afternoon to you. So, one of the questions that we actually, let me answer this question. Miss Pam Powell says, "Hi, Dr. Batson. Is there anything herbal that I can use for kidney stones, please?" And she is actually messaging from the UK as well. The thing is, it depends on the type of stone that you have generally. I mean, just this morning I was answering a question like that where I was saying that you have 4 types of stones, kidney stones. The thing is, you could get stones anywhere in the body. Yeah? A lot of people do not do that. You have kidney stones, you have gallstones. A lot of people, DJ Mamu, are you aware that there's something known as tonsil stones? Tonsil, yes, your tonsil.
It's very, very new to me.
Yeah. They actually have tonsil stones as well. So you have tonsil stones, gallstones, kidney stones, and then you have in the category of what is known as cysts. So you have women who may have things like polycystic ovaries, where they actually have ovaries that are polycystic in nature, or they may have cysts. You have different types of cysts. You have Nabotian cysts. You have various cysts. And all those are indication of waste in the body, yeah? And waste being stored because the body cannot really excrete the waste properly. It could also be serious indications of dehydration. So one of the first things I would recommend is you increase your water intake. As it relates to bats, now what we can do for you, we can do a consultation. We do online consultations because, you know, if there are anything that we need to know with regards to your medication, whatever the case may be, if you're on medication, your age, those type of things, we will have to take those into consideration and then make our necessary recommendations, right? Santulan is a very good product for kidney stones. We have had a lot of clients who use that. Kidney stones, gallstones, they got very, very good results. So that is also something to pay close attention to. So you can always give us a call. The number for our international clients and international consultation is 868. That's our area code, of course, 868-373-2388. Again, that's 868-373-2388.
Jason Batson, the rain, not the rainy, the dry season is upon us.
Yes, it is.
It is expected to have an avalanche of Sahara dust, local dust, and that's going to increase people's probability of obtaining the virus, if you want to call it the influenza, whatever.
Yes.
So a lot of people will be in this kind of snappy nose position, if you want to call it.
Yes, definitely.
So you want to take and ensure that you have a good supply of Kangen water.
The Alkagen, rather, water. Alkagen water. And your silver with your mineral formula. You see that product? That is an amazing, amazing product for that particular situation.
I have a brother here who's in Pennsylvania.
Right. Brother.
His name is Captain Shahid Bakshmapoy.
Oh, okay. Your real name, boy.
Yes. In other words, to get a job there, he had to use a strange kind of name. So he's registered as Captain Shahid Baksh McCoy, right?
Right.
And he is in Pennsylvania. Sent me a picture with the aircraft that he's about to go around with.
Right.
He flies inside the United States, and he says that guy knows his stuff. So he's coming to a carnival and he wants to have a chat with you.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
Captain, over and out, and we'd love to hear from you on your arrival. Gary Dassau of the Mike Association says here, Mr. DJ, those guys at the Mike Association, they're planning an invasion. And the invasion is to head to Batson Associates to check all the prostate.
Yeah. We will welcome that, and it's a non-invasive test. Nobody doesn't have to touch you. You know, I actually had a client too. Excellent results again with prostate, and this is one of the best testimonies that I've had with a client with prostate, because you usually find with catheters are hardly removed. Men live with catheters for years. A catheter, I don't know if you know what a catheter is, DJ Mamu.
First time hearing about it.
Okay, right. So let me give you try to keep it as non-graphic and as respectful as possible in giving my description of what it is. So it's primarily a straw-like object that is attached to a bag, and it is basically designed to go up into the penis. And it reaches up to a certain point now. And when it reaches up to that point, it allows you to now urinate. And you have to urinate in a bag.
Oh, so that's what you call a catheter.
That is what is referred to as a catheter. Well, the catheter, I believe, is actually the tubing itself that has to go into the penis, coming out into the bag. Or if that and the bag is known as the catheter. I can't remember off the top of my head. But essentially, that is what it is. But think about that. That is a very uncomfortable situation.
What about pain?
Well, right, you have pain, you have frequent infections because they have to change those ever so often. Remember, there's a foreign object in your body, so it is going to cause severe infection. It can cause serious problem with even sepsis, where you can have infection, where you can actually lose various parts of your anatomy, including your penis. You could have serious problems with urinary tract infections, kidney infections, and then of course you cannot indulge in sexual intercourse. So it's a number of things. A very uncomfortable situation for a man, especially someone who prides themselves in good health. You see, the thing is, a lot of people don't understand, and this is something that if you look at successful people, especially in some cases in the realm of business and that kind of thing, not all of them, a smart man or a wise man. There was a book I once read called The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah. And one of the things that book highlighted with wealth, it didn't highlight alone financial wealth. It actually spoke primarily about being wealthy health-wise. So that when you accomplish that, and it also spoke about health spiritual health. And that's something I always speak about. Spirituality is a very important thing, whether you like it or not. There is a being greater than you are. However you choose to address that being, I am not going to get involved in that, but the spirituality, there is something there that you have to have, right? And that book spoke about it. So I'm saying all of that to say that when you're not healthy, and the thing is, it's so easy to get help, because I remember this particular gentleman when he came to us, the same one with the kidney. He was at loss. He said, we are his last resort because, excuse me, he went by all the doctors, and all the doctors told him eventually you're going to get you're going to go on dialysis, and eventually you're going to have a problem where this is just going to get worse. And somebody told him about Batson Associates, and he came and he got excellent results. So it's a matter of you visiting us. Keep in mind, once we are dealing with you, you have to do that live blood analysis. Once you are present physically with us, there are other things we're going to add later on, God's willing, where we'll actually be able to, from a laboratory perspective, assess people in different countries and have those sent, but I tell people fresher is better. The fresher they get blood, the better it is. When they have to take blood and put it in a refrigerator and send it halfway across the world, I believe that the essence is lost and you don't really get, you're going to get some information, but essentially you're not going to get the full essence of what you have to get, right? Because essentially it's not as fresh as you would like it to be. We have a question, DJ Mamu.
Yeah, this person texted a while ago. I am 51 years young. Recently, I noticed I've been getting headaches only on weekends.
Hmm.
Weekend headaches.
Weekend headache? Somebody just be home weekend that you don't want home, or?
Or maybe the right person is at home.
You understand? Exactly. So true. You understand? Let me say, the thing with headaches are usually quite fixable. I remember it, and this is again a next testimony that I have. This was some years ago, a lady in South. Her daughter actually came from the US to see me. So her daughter booked a trip specifically to come to see Dr. Batson for a problem. And the problem that she had is headaches for 20 years. Listen to what I'm saying. This woman suffered from migraine headaches for 20 years. You notice that headache? I don't know how I would have been out of my mind. And she came specifically to us. And in 1 week time, her headache went. And it is years now, as far as I'm aware, the last time we were in contact with her. But that was a few years. That could have been at least maybe about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. But when we were in contact with her up to maybe like about 4 years ago, and she was still using our products and contacting the office and whatnot, the headaches never came back. Never. If that is not good work. And that's why I tell people I'm not in the argument. I know you really think I'm going to argue which doctor better for you. I don't have time for that. You sick, and the better or the quicker you get better, and Mamu, the quicker you get better, the better off you are. So fix your business.
But when you get better quicker,
Yeah.
Your work at your work center is going to be even more aggressive.
Yeah.
Production is going to be
Production is increased. Yeah.
And then your boss will give you a raise.
Yeah. I tell persons when you are given disability by the government, and this is a practical observation. You know what disability is, Mamu?
I think it's about 2,000.
I think so. I think I don't know off the top of my head. It could anyway be. It could anyway be in the vicinity of $1,000 to $2,000. Yeah. $1,000 to $2,000 in this time. What are they doing for you?
That alone is disability.
Exactly. You will end up sick trying to budget that money. That's our next sickness. But no economist in the world you could live with that money. No way. In this country.
You're physically challenged.
Exactly.
And you have $2,000 to do what?
To do what? You can't pay rent because where you're renting is $2,000 a month. Just think about it. So I'm saying all of that to say, Miss Elizabeth Nandlal, a pleasant good afternoon to you. She said she thinks it's $2,000. So in practicality, you see why your health is so important. So if you are disabled, if your job finds you to be medically unfit, they are under the law. They could do what? They could send you home. I mean, I don't know the industrial law off the top of my head and everything in the industrial law. Maybe they may have to compensate you. It depends on the contract you have, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you would not be earning money from that place again. We're sure about that. Unless you must be a shareholder. But the point is, DJ Mamu, you are now seriously incapacitated. And as a result of that, you cannot exchange time for money. So you cannot live. You can't live. And that is the reality of the situation. So that is why it is even more important for people to pay attention to your health. It doesn't pay to be sick. Because in that situation, you already now have to even pay caregivers. You have to buy medication. You have additional costs more than the average person. You don't only have to deal with car and house and rent and grandchildren. And you now have medical bills to deal with. So how are you living? How you are living? No, that is not nice. So I'm saying all of that to say again, your health is your wealth. And the thing is, I always tell persons this when you come to Batson and Associates. Just yesterday, a lady from Point 14 was telling me that she said, Dr. Batson, we came by you and we bought your stuff piece by piece by piece. That's all. You don't think you gotta come and spend $1 million. The objective is a progressive thing. Good. So again, feel free to give us a call or visit those telephone numbers. Again, for the Shogunas office is 222-8261. You are calling about the special that we're having. That's special as it relates to the live blood and the dry blood. And we actually have a special today from this program, DJ Mamu's program, for today, that if you actually call and book your live blood analysis and your consultation, that entire executive package. If you actually call from this program today and book anywhere within 2 weeks, so it has to be within 2 weeks to do it, you'd actually get 25% off. So that is as a specialty for the people of DJ Mamu Radio TT.com, and the long and respectful and I mean grateful relationship that I have with DJ Mamu. DJ Mamu continues to be a mentor for me. I remember the first time I met DJ Mamu when I went on the radio the first time, he called me sometimes afterwards and he said, listen to me, let me teach you this. He helped us to use the mic. He told us about pitch, pace, and power. We spoke about enunciation and pronunciation, so I'm forever grateful. And, because of that, as I said, persons from this frequency, that is the special that we offer you. So you can call any one of the offices, but keep in mind that has to be a test, and those packages have to cover now and within the next 2 weeks. God's
Allow
willing.
me to get it here. And
Yes, sir.
the Narine family, more so the Narine family listening in last. So what's number 2? You heard what the doctor said a while ago, that 25% discount applicable. So I would ask Lake Crown or Chan to call Lake Crown and let them know what is happening, and call the office now and make an appointment so that they have their
Yes.
25% discount applied to their payment when they arrive there.
Okay, good. And that is something that I was meditating on for the coming down in the vehicle, especially. So my staff is not aware of that. So when you call them, tell them that you just hear Dr. Batson say that, because they'll be like, what? You understand? So take full advantage of that, because it's a new year. As I said, a lot of persons have health challenges. A lot of persons, their lungs still not healthy as regards to that cold we had. I and all passing that virus is a serious virus. Believe me, do not play with that, because it's not playing games with you. That virus really means. And the thing is, I'm a person who, I take very good care of myself. This is my work. I understand what it is to take care of myself. I work hard, maybe a little too hard in some cases, but you know how it is. Such is life. But I have learned, and I now pace myself accordingly, and whatever the case may be, because I am a human being at the end of the day. And then the thing is, I work out in the gym. That alone is actually breaking down your body. So there are a number of factors that you need to always dot your I's and cross your T's. So lessons learned. And we have moved on from that, and I admonish persons out there to really take care of yourself. This 2024, we're going to have a lot of sick people, and the possibility exists that we're going to have a resurgence in COVID, and a lot of persons going to be in problems. And you all know this variant. So this variant we have is not a jokey variant. And I told them that I warned people about that, And a lot of the colds that we have, that's not the cold, it's COVID you get. But it's just, remember, we're not doing the monitoring that we were doing before. Remember, it wasn't as heavy and thing. We realized China has a resurgence, sorry. And the United States is ridiculous, even now with the cold, because the thing is, viruses and the colds love what? Cold climates. So people who live in the cold, well, they even more, they need to take even better care of themselves, because it is easier for them to actually get ill. The honorable member of the opposition, some years ago had made a statement and everybody was laughing like they thought it was a joke, or she was being facetious or something, where she said, sunshine, this kill COVID. She was right. A tropical climate makes it harder for that particular virus to do well. Now in some cases, hotter temperatures could actually cause certain pathogens to multiply and that type of thing. So you have it could be either spectrum depending on what it is. And off the top of my head, obviously, I cannot remember all the viruses and pathogens and bacteria that I actually have documented, because you have like millions, right? There are billions that exist, but maybe we just know of a certain amount. So I'm saying all of that to say that your best bet is to ensure that you boost your immune system naturally. I had someone who came to me last year, and one of the challenges this person had is that they got COVID 5 times, and she had significant damage to her lungs. It was really bad. So much so that they had recommended large amounts of steroids, which you could use in emergency, but it was recommended for an extended period of time. and it started to affect her hormones. So she had all sorts of things to deal with. So she wasn't having a good experience. And then she came to us. Excuse me. She came to us, and what happened is they actually did a CT of the lungs. So we had the CT, and the lungs had some masses on them. They had some serious issues that needed to be addressed because of that constant getting COVID over a year and a half. 5 times she got COVID. It wasn't a year and a half. It was five times in 9 months. That's madness. So you know our immune system would have been seriously taxed and compromised. And we did work and we fixed it. But the good thing about it in working with her over the period, we worked with her for like about 6 or 9 months, is that when she went back and she did the CT, all the masses went. The lungs significantly increased so much so that the doctors, because they wanted to do surgery, and the doctor told her that they would forego the surgery now because she doesn't have to do it based on what. So he told her, whatever you're doing, continue doing it, and go with God. So that again is a great experience there. So it's not only Batson and Associates is not only isolated to high blood pressure. We're not only isolated to helping diabetics. We're not only isolated to hormonal imbalance. We have an excellent, excellent program for women with fibroids, polycystic ovaries. In fact, there was someone here to no, I have some questions on social media. So just y'all bear with me. I will get there just now, right? Ms. Sharon Theodore, and she put it in caps. She said, Dr. Batson, what is the best women's formula for women over 55? There's actually a product we sell at Batson Associates called Women's Formula. That product helps. There's a next one that we actually would be getting soon enough, and that's actually a menopause formula to assist more with hormonal imbalance. So we normally recommend the Women's Formula and that menopause formula. And that's something that we would be starting that product, because that's a new product. We would actually get that, God's willing, by the end of the first quarter. So by the end of March, God's willing, we should have that. So that is something as well you could pay very close attention to, and fix yourself. Okay, let me say a pleasant good afternoon again to Kathleen Ishmael. She said, this is why this program is always a beautiful blessing. May Jehovah continue to bless you with his wisdom. Thank you so very much. Miss Hema, I believe it's pronounced Nanlal. She says, good evening. Miss Elizabeth Nana, she says, Doc, I is a pensioner and it's real tough for me. So my health is of paramount importance to me. I totally agree. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to our client from, I believe it's Deep South, Miss Elizabeth Nanlal. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Miss Joanne Hospitalis, good afternoon to you. Miss Lisa Singh, a pleasant good afternoon to you as well. She said, we do like the name COVID, so we don't like the name COVID, so we call it a bad cold. I get out my bush and worked it out. Exactly, and so did I. To get out my silver and mineral formula and those type of things. So is a very serious thing where your immune system is concerned, where lungs, especially children. I'm seriously concerned about children because I find we're getting more and more children who having this problem. And the problem with children is that you don't want your children using excessive antibiotics and excessive steroids. They're going to end up in problems. Remember, these children are quite young and they're developing still. You want to create mental problems and kidney problems, urinary tract infections, because your children getting consistently sick, and you have to give them all the antibiotics in the world. It's a reality, because that is what they're going to get. They're going to give you antibiotic A, that don't work, you get B, you get C, and you can run through the whole alphabet, and it still don't get better. But your kidney would be taxed, your gastrointestinal system will be taxed, your hydration is also going to be interfered with, so you have to take those things into consideration. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Elizabeth Nandlal. She says, sunlight kills COVID. It was a joke at the time. Doc, just to deviate a bit, it is a good thing you did a program on perimenopause and alerted us to the fact that it could happen even in your 70s. You're very welcome. Yeah. And I had a client recently with that, and they are mid 60s or approaching very late 60s, almost 70 years, and she was going through serious problems with insomnia, serious problems with depression, anxiety, weakness in the legs, muscular fatigue. It was bad, but thank God we corrected that. So again, those telephone numbers and locations, keep in mind, those of you listening on this frequency, if you book our executive package within now, today, well, not today, from tomorrow, 2 weeks, excuse me, you actually have 25% off. So take full advantage of that. DJ Mamu, just remind them of the contact.
Right, so the number call in studio, it's very simple, 868-337-2287. And for international listeners, 1-868-337-2287. Now, for those of you who've been listening to this program, Dr. Jason Batson, he was actually way under the weather because, we prayed all of his fans who knew about his illness. And like he mentioned a while ago, he's only human. And whatever occurred to him, we always say, Lord, remove it, because we
Amen.
need this man around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Right? We need this doctor to ensure that people who are suffering silently, to get out there, make a phone call the branches mentioned on this program, and also call and book your seat to get 25% discount on that package that's unbeatable from the doctor's office. Support your health naturally on djmamoradiott.com. Again, I urge you to tell a friend, tell your neighbor, hey, listen, big things happening at Support Your Health Naturally, Dr. Jason Batson's office. Call the numbers, he'll give you all those numbers just now. And please make a booking. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a particular day in question. Once it's available, if it's booked, you have to be placed on a subsequent day in question.
Correct.
But please take full advantage of this offer of 25%. You know what is 25%? 25%
At this time
is a quarter of a dollar. Okay?
correct.
If you take a quarter of a dollar, it's 75 cents.
Correct.
So in our terms and our language, that's a lot of money. So, and beside the money, the service these guys provide, charisma
Ramdan.
And so many of these ladies, and even the guy, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. The Spanish looking one,
Bastamante, Rene.
And then you have a fellow who's green here.
That is Mr. Paul Green.
Mr. Paul Green. Very nice people. And the way they speak to you, you feel as though half of your problem already gone. Yeah. It's like going to the dentist, which recently went last year.
Yeah.
And he removed that tooth that was giving him some real
problem
for his money. So now that he can speak properly and enunciate and pronounce words properly, we love him for that.
Exactly. So let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Sister Stefan Vialva. That's the strong up one, the man who's left all the weights. Right? So quite competent consultants. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Babita Samlal. She has a question here. So keep in mind that 25% discount. Again, that telephone number is 2228261. That's 2228261. 2228261. Debe, of course, is the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road. And that discount applies to any one of the offices. That number for DB is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. And St. James, of course, is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number is 220-8113. 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226. That's 226-4553. Again, that's 226-4553. Our international clients, you want to book your consultation, we can do a Zoom consultation, get all the information. Because what I try to explain to overseas persons, but I think a lot of them want to actually get the physical experience. Okay, good, no problem. Is that they actually want to come in. But the thing is, you might be there suffering, and we could actually help you. And at least you could get halfway better. And then when you reach here, we could get it fully better. But halfway or quarter way better is still better than being fully sick, right? For want of a better expression. Okay, so Miss Babita Samlal asked the question, Dr. Batson, my bro has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I was told by a friend to have him come see you. Would you be able to help him in some way? Though the hospital has given up on him, he is home, however, and not hospitalized. Can we do a consultation? Of course you can, definitely. Definitely. And the thing is, when you're dealing with cancer, especially stage 4 cancer, I don't know what type of cancer it is. I think you made, just 1 second, see that you made some comments down below. So I don't know. Okay, you didn't say the type of cancer it was. But either way, definitely help could be rendered. What I would suggest, it wouldn't be a consultation. That is going to have to be a test. Because you see, the thing is, when you're dealing with cancer, especially stage 4 cancer, we need to see, we need to see the level of oxidative stress in the body. The body is going to be seriously taxed. The body is going to be seriously degenerated. The immune system is going to be seriously compromised. So I have to see blood work in terms of live blood analysis, dry blood analysis, magnetic resonance analysis. If you have any accompanying scans like CT, MRIs, any ultrasounds, those type of things, you can bring depending on the type of cancer it is. But that is not going to be a consultation alone. That has to be the full thing, right? So that we dotting all our I's and we crossing our T's. You know, I always tell persons that we have some really bad colds, and these colds and them could put in some serious problem and kill you faster than cancer can. However, I always tell persons that having cancer is not like having the cold in terms of the nutritional imbalances that is found in the body, right? So, you know, as I said, we have to dot our I's and cross our T's with that, Miss Samla, right? So you could always reach out to any of the offices. Keep in mind that 25% that is going to be available to persons on this frequency, this program that we're doing within now and 2 weeks. If you make those bookings, that is the discount that you will get. That's 25%. That's a big discount. Take that. That could actually go towards a product, or using a nerve restore, using Santulan, or using some other product that can now help you feel better. Most importantly,
Some circulation tea will help also.
Of course, definitely.
Molly Kedan of Sangre Grande.
I know that name. That Molly Kedan is a popular name. Miss Kedan, how are you? Happy New Year to you, my dear.
Cram Street, Sangre Grande. Say hello to the doctor and welcome him back. But I already did that.
Thank you so very much.
Yes. If you feel people are minding your business, they're minding it.
Clearly, I realized that in my absence. I realized that I mean, I know I have a lot of persons who, you know, they're gonna say when you do good does follow. You have a lot of persons who, you know. Exactly. Yeah.
You keep your karma running smooth, my friend.
Amen.
And you will see things coming to you.
Amen.
Ivan Mongru, he is from New York, sent a message. Say hello to this big man, meaning you, the doctor.
Yes.
Talking to Yankee.
Yes, of course, definitely. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Annie Rangochan, good afternoon. Jason, hi to the doctor. These are fans of DJ Mambo.
Right.
Regular friend, always on board. Free admission.
Oh, Channel. Happy New Year.
Yes. She said, what happened to the boy? I don't know which boy she talking about.
Yeah. Thank you so very much for all the concerns, for all the greetings, all the everything. Thank you so very much. And, you know, thank God that I'm here, health and strength, to, you know, help so many more persons. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon, as usual, to Miss Kathleen Ishmael. She says, thanks be to Almighty God for his goodness towards us. This program is a life. Let us pray. Pay attention. Thank you so very much for that. Sorry. Miss Dawn Ellis asked the question, Dr. Batson, do you remember last year I was going through a rough time and had a lot of testing done, and they were saying that it had something to do with the lymphatic nodes that they were seeing? Well, I had the non-invasive biopsy and nothing was found. My last test had to do with the lungs and nothing was found as well. Miss Ellis, as I told you, one of the things that we need to do, you know, I need to get some details as regards to that. I think, I don't know if you ever had a consultation with my office. You can let me know. I know you did speak to them to get products. And let me dot our I's and cross your T's with this. So, you know, we would be able to see what is going on there. I don't know how you're feeling, though, right? Let me say, Rain Dew says, good afternoon, doctor. What causes a sudden irritation in the throat that results in uncontrollable coughing and gagging? I never had COVID. The thing is, it could be the cold. You could have gotten a cold. There's something known as a post-nasal drip, which is where you actually have the drips to the back of your throat. You wouldn't see it, of course, because it's in the back there where it's not visible to you. And because of that constant dripping at the back of the throat, it's going to irritate that nerve there, and you're going to be constantly coughing. But post-nasal drips are always indication of infection in different parts of the body that has not completely gone. They're still lingering around, they're making children, you know, they're building a little community. And then the longer they stay there, then you'll end up with what? Serious. Yes. A squatting area. And you don't want that, you're going to have to come to do demolition. So nip that in the bud as immediate as possible before it gets really, 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 really bad. Okay. Miss Janice Pascal says, good afternoon, Doctor. Miss Pascal, Dr. Batson, Miss Pascal, good afternoon to you and a happy new year to you as well. Josie Smith said, I have thyroid and menopause issues. What to? Oh, I think she said, would the new formula help? Yes, it would. It would definitely help. That menopause formula would help. Miss Pearl Passada, always a blessing to you. She says, hello, hello, my dear. How are you? Nice to see you. You're full of joy. God bless you always. Thank you so very much to Miss Pearl Passada. Miss Babita Samuel says pancreas cancer or pancreatic cancer rather. Yeah, we can help with that, but I would need to see. I don't know if biopsies were done, but reach out to the office and let's do what we need to do. Miss Anya Marie says, nice to see you back, Dr. Batson. Thank you so very much. Miss Donnella says, no, I have not had a consultation with you, but I did get some of your products after Christmas. I would try to get a consultation with you in the near future. Thanks so very much. Miss Elizabeth Nama says, amen to that, Mamu Kama. And I am adding energy, meditation, affirmations, etc. So critical to daily living in this modern society. How I wish meditation could be introduced in our schools. I totally agree. Totally agree with that. These young people will be so much better. They will be so much balanced. They'll be so disciplined. They'll be able to take on, certain things. I believe these young people now, they I wouldn't say fickle is the word, but they do have that tenacity. They easily what's the word I'm looking for? Right? They're easily offended and they have a, in some cases they have this entitlement attitude.
I would say that the young generation today, their level of tolerance is not like ours.
No, it's not, and that's what I'm saying. They give in very quickly. Very quickly.
And I would also like to add that the adrenaline rush that occurs with these youngsters, it's heartless, it's careless, and it's reckless. So they do things when they realize what they've done. Did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did it. So they don't think before they act.
They act, yeah. And then also you have to take into consideration, and this is not, trying to get political in any way, but even the use of drugs. A lot of these children now are exposed to things that they shouldn't be exposed to. And remember, these type of drugs, including marijuana, and a lot of persons do not understand that these things have psychotropic effects and a number of effects on the brain. And you're a child, which means you're not properly developed. And then development depends on individuals. So there's somebody, what a person could use. There's a saying, my great-grandmother used to say, go Paul luck is not see Paul luck, right? So it means now that they can do things and mentally or psychologically at that point in time, they were not in full control. Now, that doesn't give them reason to do heinous crimes, kill people, and whatever the case may be. Because some people deliberately take those things so that they could actually, perpetrate those crimes. However, what you have to take into consideration is that those things are mind-altering. They can chemically alter your brain. So be very, very, very careful. Parents, speak to your children. I tell people it's better you open with these children and tell them and talk to them about everything. You don't wait for nobody to speak to you about marijuana or hemp or molly or ecstasy or all the other things. You talk to your child because somebody going to bring it for them. And if you didn't address the situation, they may not make the best decision. And then you're going to have that to deal with.
Dr. Jason Batson.
Yes, sir.
Parents today, they are not parents like yesterday, where peer pressure was not on them. Today you have parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should bring this responsibility for these children. You could tell them XYZ. When they head to school,
yes,
a different XYZ they get in there.
Correct.
You understand? So when they find comfort in this kind of zone, they will drift. And drifting off there, they begin to back answer the parents.
Right.
There are instances like that.
Of course.
They will say, okay, I'll leave your house.
Yeah.
And this child or boy will leave, or the girl or the boy leave the mother's house and go on their way.
Correct.
Because they feel that the friends outside, they told them something to be big.
Yes.
Smoking a cigarette, puffing, make you feel like you're a big man. Putting a bag in your hand by the road makes you a big man. No.
Doesn't.
Doesn't. Anyway, we are going out of
offline, yes, but definitely. So, parents, pay attention to that. Especially if children who are having problems with seizures, epileptic fits, especially if they weren't born with those things. Let me say a pleasant, Mr. Fisher here would ask about circulation T, the advanced circulation, balanced circulation. No, we do not have, but you can call, as I said, give them your name, and as soon as we're going to make sure and organize that for you. Ms. Sharon Theodore, she says, Dr. Batson, I have two questions. First one, how much silver formula do you give children that have the cold? Because I have a bottle of it. And two, how do I use the Jamaican black castor oil with the raw coconut oil for the breast? Thank you. Oh, okay, good. So with children, you're looking at children from baby. If you're dealing with a baby, okay, so let's say you're dealing with a newborn up to the age of 2, you're looking at 1 teaspoon they could be given. If you're looking at anything above 2, between 2 and maybe about 8, you're looking at about 1 tablespoon or 2 teaspoons twice a day, morning and evening. And then it depends in some cases if the child is asthmatic, if the child has immune problems, that kind of thing, well, then we may have to adjust the dose. But I would definitely recommend further consultation if it is someone who is seriously ill. Right, as regards to the Jamaican castor oil, you just is 1 tablespoon, your ratio is 1 to 1, that's the castor oil and the coconut oil, you mix it, and you actually apply it to the breast. What that does, it helps with lymphatic cleansing. It does a lot for the lymphatic system. So, pay attention to that. Miss Annetta Straker says, good day, Doc, having sleeping problems because of menopause. Well, a number of things could help you with that. You could take advantage of the special that we're having. Keep in mind, those of you, excuse me, for this program, and those of you for the frequency, djmamuradio.tt.com, you would actually be able to come and take advantage of that. So call the office. Let them know that number again for Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsonwood Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. Again, 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226-4553. Again, 226-4553. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Jeanne Robinson and Miss Stefan Vialva there in Tobago, working up a storm and, helping out our Tobago clients. To our social media fans, as usual, a pleasant good afternoon again to you. It's nice seeing you guys. Happy New Year to you. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson. Always a pleasure to be in your company. Look out for our upcoming lives on Sundays, as well as our question and answer session. To the listeners, again, of djmamuradio.tt.com, Happy New Year. And have here to tell you, bright and prosperous. Good health to you, and remember your health is your wealth. And, do not wait for sickness to be taken from you, or health, to be taken from you, that you have to be looking for it. Sometimes the journey I might have to make to find it might be a little too much. The old people say an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you, and do enjoy the rest of your day. DJ Mamu, sir, always a pleasure. Remember your listeners, 25%. So, djmamuradiott.com. Take advantage of that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson, for the program today. Support your health naturally. And again, mention to the listeners, 25% discount. Call now, make your reservations for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
And ensure that your family are well taken care of with this big New Year offer from Support Your Health Naturally, Dr. Jason Batson and Associates. To all at the offices, thanks again. And see you guys again next week. Same time at 2:15 on djmamuradio.tt.com. Stay tuned for more entertainment coming your way.
Yes, guys. So social media, the lovely ladies, Miss Elizabeth Nanlal, she says, bless Doc, love you plenty. Thank you so much, my dear. Love you too. Miss Josie Smith, she says, thank you again. God bless you and stay safe. Good to see you back. Looking very well. Greatly appreciated. Miss Sharon Tirador, as usual, she says, thank you again, Dr. Batson. Stay safe. Same to you guys. Keep in mind, we have our question and answer coming up on Sunday, please God. And there would be some adjustment to some of the lives that we have. We're doing some changes with our programs. So look out for that. Of course, we're going to send those notifications to you guys. And again, look out this program that we did. If you call, you would get your 25% within now and the next 2 weeks. Take advantage of that. That telephone number again for the Shogunas office is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And I'm going to actually do something for that with Debe, where I'm going to be in Debe. I most likely, because of that promotion, I am most likely would do Debe, God's willing, the 27th to facilitate persons in South for that particular 2 weeks aspect. Okay? So take advantage of it, guys. God bless you. Keep in mind again that telephone number 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramson Wood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road. That telephone number is 220-8113. 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226-4553. Guys, God bless you. Miss Pam Powell out in the United Kingdom there. God bless you, my well, as well. Good evening. I hope you're either having dinner, or because it's now what, 7:21, so you're either having dinner or maybe you finish your dinner and you're having a cup of tea or something like that. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself, and until Sunday, please God, stay tuned.